'Cause your opinion don't matter. This maniac is gonna step on whomever. It's my life in the box in front of me. Danger in my arms is the soul of me. Your hands on the floor and your heart.
WWE Monday Night Raw review. We were at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania last night. I know what you're thinking.
Thrill me.
Here we go, backstage. Bronson Reed making his way down. And did anybody notice this sign behind Bronson Reed? It's something familiar about that sign and something humorous about it that I just can't put my finger on, but it seems so very appropriate. Reed's attacked by Seth freaking Rollins, who hits him with his suitcase twice, and he's restrained. But Liberace decides to head down to the ring because he wants to call the big man out. Walks through Gorilla, which I'm not so fond of them showing every fucking show incessantly. And Rollins says, let's get down here. Let's get this going. Come on, I don't want to wait for blood money. Here comes Adam Pearce saying no. Jobber Security tries to hold Bronson Reed back. This does not go well. Rollins is fed up with waiting. Goes ahead, hits a dive. All the bowling pins fall down, but Reed picks him up, slams him into the apron. Does the same thing inside the ring into the corner, but eats a big boot. Rollins hits the ropes, takes a Death Valley driver, and from this point, Reed was going to go for a tsunami, settle for an outside dive, tries to set the table. Does not work, though, as this little security guard jumps on his back. He gets yeeted onto the other security guards, and Reed misses the splash. They're broke up at this point, and everybody separates them. This is going to lead into Saudi blood money in that pay-per-view. I'm going to go ahead and give this segment an up. Great way to start the show, and I am all in favor of seeing Seth Rollins get destroyed at the Saudi blood money pay-per-view on November 2nd. R-Truth down in the ring, and the Authors of Pain and the Final Testament show up. Karrion Kross decks Truth. Miz jumps in. Kofi wants to help. Xavier says no. The Smelly Albanians beat down on R-Truth, and Paul Ellering.
R-Truth's problem.
The jobbers of the Wyatt Six show up. Nikki Cross starts out with a high cross body on to Scarlett. It breaks down. Rowan throws out the other Smelly Albanian. They throw Loomis onto the other stinky fucker, and all the jobbers brawl to the back. Miz is shocked. Nobody put his hands on him. Uncle Howdy shows up. He's going to go for the Sister Abigail, but ends up hitting a mandible claw on a 70-year-old Paul Ellering. What the fuck are we doing? The Wyatt Six is over. They're jobbers now. I feel terrible about this. This is a bad point. Nobody gives a shit about the Final Testament. They're just not going to build anything. This is a bad segment. 1 point to the bad. Here we go. Segment number 3. Damage Control versus Liv and Raquel. And Io Sky taking advantage of Liv, throwing the knee shot on Raquel, bouncing on her, springboard drop kick to Liv, and hits the Meteora. But here we go, Raquel into the ring post. And Liv coming back on offense, couple corner spots on to Io, and eats shit on the uppercut. Went for the axe handle, drop kick to the outside by Io Sky. Brings in the two jobbers from NXT, takes a shot from Lash Legend, and Kyrie hits her with one, though, and we get a little reversal in the ring, and Lash hits her finisher, allowing this face-off here with Liv and Raquel and these two idiots. And here comes Rhea Ripley, and Rhea comes down, and this is where we get some major aesthetics. Raquel and Rhea kind of square. God, this is just an aesthetically pleasing matchup. Raquel no-sells the headbutt, takes some shots, gets over the top rope. She's down. Liv, jawbreaker on Rhea. Rhea with the prism lock on Liv, and she can't get out. Rhea drop kicks Raquel back out of the ring, and this reversal into a headbutt puts Liv on her back again. Liv is saved by Dom, though. Dom can't get off the apron in time. This is where it goes bad. Starts getting manhandled by a female. Has to be saved by two females. Dom, this even though Rhea is strong, this is just ridiculous. This is why I give this segment one good, one bad. The action between the women was good. The, hey, this is a guy, and we're going to make him look like shit at the expense of a woman that he outweighs by almost 40 pounds. That gets a bad from me. So we got, two bad and one good right now. Or two good and two bad. Gunther backstage with Kathy Kelly talking about the match at Saudi Blood Money against Thody Rose, Daddy, the fruit of my loins, if you will, baby. And enter Damian Priest, the bisexual Undertaker. And I'm not going to poo-poo Damian Priest. I like Damian Priest. I'm not a huge fan, but I like the guy. I think he's got talent. I think he's got charisma. But we don't need another match for the belt with him and Gunther. If you're going to take the title off Gunther, we're not going to put it back on Damian Priest. Not a good look. Not a good segment. This is a point to the bad. I don't want another rehash of this feud. It didn't work for me the first time, brother. Main event time. Intercontinental title match. Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso, and Tom a Retard gets involved. Eats a super kick. Tonga Loa eats a super kick. Here comes Solo Sikoa, the peroxide jobber. And he's going to eat a super spear from Braun Breaker. And here comes Jacob Fatu. And he's taking out Jey Uso, which leads Breaker into the ring. Super spear. And it's mathematic. 1, 2, 3. And the world is healing. The title's off the jobber. And that makes Rikishi's rant on Vince Russo that much funnier last week when Rikishi's like, man, fuck you. Jay crying because he won the Intercontinental title. Fuck you. You don't have a right to say anything. Take my son's name out your mouth. Okay, Rikishi. First of all, your son's a fucking jobber. Okay? I like the guy. He sells merch. But he's a fucking jobber. Let's be honest. If you stack up the athleticism, the acumen, and everything else between Braun Breaker and your son, the scales are tipped so heavily in Braun's favor, your fat ass could get on the other side and balance it back out. Jay, this is why this is so funny, Rikishi. This is why you don't have knee-jerk reactions to things like that in a scripted program like wrestling is. Because they knew that they weren't going to keep that title on Jay that long, but you went out and ran your fucking mouth, and now you look even dumber than when you were a thong-wearing fatty. Thanks, Rock. But yeah, so this is a point to the good. This is a point to the good for the show. And lightning round, let's go over the rest of the, what was left. Here's the rest of what happened, and trust me, none of it's good. That's why you're not getting any clips or any coverage. Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus American-made the Creed brothers in a tag team tournament for the #1 contenders for JD McJobber and Finn Jobber's Raw tag team titles. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee went over. Nobody fucking cares. That's a point to the bad. Speaking of jobbers, The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. God knows the only person Xavier Woods can go over on is Paige. And Kofi and Xavier went over on the Albanian jobbers, the Authors of Pain, who have never beaten anybody since their debut, as far as I know. This is a point to the bad. So let's total it all up, see where we're at, and see how the show ends. With a final score of 6-3, the bad wins again, folks. Look, I'm not doing this to be really, really hard on Raw. I gave good points where they're needed. I gave bad points where they're needed. You put these garbage tier filler tag team matches on with tag teams that you don't use except when you need filler. The tag team division deserves better. There's much better tag team wrestling out there than you would get from this show. That's why it's bad. That's why I marked it down. So you know what that means, folks? We'll send it off with this one. Jay Sherman, my man, take it away.
It stinks.
There you go, folks. Leave your hate in the comments. Let me know what you think. E-drones, are you so upset that I give Raw bad marks? Well, if you do, then you don't pay attention to the Monday night show when I rip down AEW too. You should probably be watching, subscribe with the bell on for notifications. And if you're up to it, if you're feeling froggy, $2.99, $4.99, make the leap, become a channel member, or you can support us on Patreon for $2 a month as a Brainbuster. Options are there. If not, just subscribe. It's free. It always will be. Thank you for watching, folks. I'm Etep from Wrestling with Horror. Remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.